explain just how this wonderful art challenge, as simple as it may sound, can fix all your art and creativity related problems. But just before that, I do want to acknowledge that I have seen many artists try the 3 emoji challenge before, and I was inspired to try it myself as well. However, this is not my original idea, and unfortunately, I'm not quite sure whose idea this first was, but definitely all credits go to them. And thank you so much for this fun drawing idea that ended up giving me so much creativity and so much motivation to create some wonderful drawings. And with that being said, let's get back to it. So starting it off, if you have not heard of this challenge before and you're a tiny bit confused about what exactly I'm rambling about, let me just quickly explain what it is. So my interpretation is that you basically choose 3 emojis, or you can ask someone to pick them for you. Then you have to try and create a drawing using those 3 emojis. For example, the emojis I'm using for this page is these ones. We have a cat, a moon, and a candle. Now, at first, it kind of seems super random, I agree. But we can take so many things from these 3 emojis and kind of implement them in our drawings. And that's where the fun basically begins. Like, we can do literally anything with these emojis. Just imagine, we can draw a yellow cat. We can draw someone with an evil expression, kind of like the cat emoji. We can draw the moon, but what if the moon is a candle and the world is just turning upside down? You see what I'm doing here? We can literally do anything with our 3 emojis. All we have to do is just use them for some guidance and some inspiration. And just like that, once I picked out my emojis, I just had a bunch of random ideas, and I decided to put them on the paper. So basically, all the drawings you'll see me doing on this page were not pre-planned, and I literally just went with the flow and kind of just drew whatever came to mind, and there was just something so relaxing about that. And now check this out. I thought, what if I take the flame of the candle and draw it behind the character, but what if I make it blue? Like, what if the flame has a night sky inside of it, and that's where I draw the moon? See, that's what I mean. My ideas just ended up going in every single direction, and I ended up drawing a bunch of things that I probably would not have even thought of drawing before. Like, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys have ever thought of making a drawing of the moon, but turning the moon into a candle and putting a cat on top of the moon? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. This art challenge is amazing, and I mean really amazing, at pushing your creativity, pushing you outside of your comfort zone, and really just kind of motivating you to try something different, try something new, and just draw whatever comes to mind. That's what I love about it. Like, this honestly has no limits. You can use as many emojis as you want. You can choose which emojis you want to implement. And basically, all you have to do is just take a couple of seconds to just sit down and look at your emojis and let your creativity start to spark ideas. And at first, it was a tiny bit daunting for me, but once I made my first drawing, I suddenly had this energy to just keep on going and keep on making more drawings. And with every single drawing I made, I just felt like my ideas were multiplying insanely. And you know what? As an artist, that is the best feeling you can have. When you feel like you have too many ideas and you just can't put them down on the paper because you are feeling so creative. I feel like the easiest way for me to explain it is that it felt like the complete opposite of having an art block. And that is the best thing. I also love this drawing challenge because you are in complete control of what you decide to do the entire time. Like, no one is forcing you to use only 3 markers or only to draw this specific thing or that specific thing. You can change up your emojis. You can choose what you want to implement. Like, for example, I drew some cats, and for the guy, I decided to take the expression of the cat and implement it with his own expression. And basically, you are in charge, which is honestly my favorite part. Anyways, here is how the first page turned out. What do you guys think? Hold on, did you think we were gonna stop with just one page? Nuh-uh, not today. I've got way too much energy and too much motivation. So let's make another drawing, except this time it is going to be a full, complete, detailed illustration. But you know what? When something is going too fine, when something is going too well, sometimes something has to happen to kind of stop that positivity and just kind of, make you feel a little bit frustrated. So basically, in my case, I thought the sketch was good, and I did the line art. Then I realized that I kind of made a significant mistake, and I will show you guys what that is later on. But you know what? Just be prepared. Also, with this drawing, just to keep things a little bit more fun, I'm not going to tell you guys what three emojis it is based off, but instead I'm going to give you guys the chance to guess. And of course, I'll give you guys some hints as we go as well. The very first hint being, look at the character's wings. Anyways, you know what I realized? This entire drawing challenge really pushed me outside of my comfort zone because, quite frankly, I don't normally draw side profiles. I don't normally draw animals and humans interacting like this. I also am not very good at drawing cats, nor am the hint for our third emoji is look at what I'm going to draw on the next cloud. I feel like there are a lot of valid guesses, but if you guessed something like clouds, rainbow, sky, lily pad, lake, leaf, that would be completely valid. However, my three emojis are these ones. We have a fairy, a castle, and a horse. Anyways, with our sketches done, it's now time to lighten them and begin our line art. By the way, if you managed to guess those three emojis correctly, seriously, that is amazing because even I would have probably guessed them wrong. But yeah, let me know in the comments because that is really amazing. Anyways, if you're wondering what exactly I'm doing right now, basically, I am not willing to sacrifice my washi tape to protect the border of this drawing because washi tape is precious, and if you have washi tape, you'll understand just how precious they are. So instead, I decided to go ahead and use my was turning out. But alas, little did I know at that very moment in time that something was very wrong. Dun dun dun! And let me show you guys what it is. So this drawing looks fine. It looks good. It did look good to me until I realized just how big I made the head, and since I realized, it kept on bothering me a lot. So what I did was, after I took a break, I went ahead, I scanned my drawing, I tried to fix it up digitally, and then I reprinted it, and yeah, now I'm pretty happy with it. I was really confused at first because I didn't like how the drawing was looking, but the line art was done and I didn't want to color it in. So it was really confusing, but after a bit of patience and taking a break and a bit of smart work, I managed to fix my mistake and now I have something I'm really happy with. And I guess the lesson is that when life gives you rain, try to find the rainbow. Anyways, now it's time to begin my favorite part of the process for these drawings because this was the part where I could just relax, unwind, and just color in all my drawings. Also, do you guys know something? This entire process of working on all these drawings on the first page and the second page were literally just made for each other because when navy blue and gold is combined, it is just the perfect combination for any type of formal occasion. Now, is that just me or do you guys agree? But this next color though, I wasn't too sure about because the page was looking quite good so far, but I did need to add a little bit of red here and there because, you know, the flame of the candle does have some red. So I was kind of worried because, like, you know, I thought it might ruin the color scheme, but honestly, it wasn't too bad. I just kind of used it here and there, and I used gold for the rest of the flame and everything like that. And I think it's fair enough to say that it worked out quite well, thankfully. And guess what? This emoji challenge didn't just give me drawing ideas, it also gave me a baking idea. Like, imagine baking a cupcake and then adding Now, do you remember how I said that you are in complete control of what you draw? Well, that is 100% true. Fantasy color palette. So the main colors that I used were pink, purple, yellow, and like this pastel aqua green type of color. And I love how it turned out, and I can't wait for you guys to see how it turns out as well. So I was just coloring, right? I was just having a good time, and then suddenly I make a drawing inspired by them. There's lots of good options out there. Just keep trying and you can definitely find inspiration. You know what? I believe in you. You got this. You can do this. And of course, for anyone who liked this video and managed to get inspired by it, I am so happy. I hope you guys all have an amazing time drawing and just have a great time making some wonderful art. And this reminds me, if you've managed to watch all this way without skipping or but what you guys can't see is that behind the scenes, our horse is actually a Pegasus. She's a horse with wings. But technically, you just can't see her wings in the drawing. Yeah, I think that's a good story. Let's just stick with that and use our imagination. And you know the color yellow that I used to color the fairy's dress? I think that's such a pretty yellow color, and I really wanted to make my horse yellow color as well. But at the same time, I was worried that it might end up looking too similar to Fluttershy from My Little Pony, who is an amazing character, by the way. But since I wanted to be a tiny bit different, I decided to color her pink. Still, let me know in the comments, do you think our pink horse looks nice, or do you think she might have looked better if she was maybe yellow? Also, look at this castle on the clouds. This is definitely my favorite part of this entire drawing because that has been my dream ever since I was young, ever since I saw these cartoons where people could live on clouds and they live in castles, and I've always wanted to live in a place like that, or at least visit it, and it just sounds so amazing. But alas, as of 2024, it is currently not possible, but maybe it will be in the future. Who knows? But that is a story for another time. Until then, let's just enjoy this drawing